Well, I thought I'd come back out here and do a quick update. I'm going to walk kind of fast, so hoping no one gets dizzy. Just to let you see how the zinnias are doing. They're up around 20 inches tall, maybe. We used to sell these, but apparently nobody wants any. So this year, if anybody wants any, you just come help yourself. You know, I don't really want anybody taking 5-gallon buckets full, but if you need some for somebody and you want to make a bouquet and give it to somebody to brighten their day, that's fine. Help yourself. They look pretty good. They'll keep blooming. The ones in the back row are the taller ones. You know, I planted 408,000 of these in here, so they're kind of thick. And I know that, but this is where I had to put them. You can see how the back ones are getting really good. So if you want any of the big ones, you need to go around the end to the back. I had a lady stop by this morning and tell me her trailer came loose after the 4-H fair last night, and I guess it came disconnected and went through Carolyn's zinnia patch on the end. So from all the way up in there, all the way down to here, this is the end of the row right there. So I don't know, 20 foot maybe, 25 or 30 if you count the tracks that go back to the back. Must have been a pretty wide trailer. I'll have to scrape this mess up tomorrow. It's raining right now, but you can see where they've come back through here to connect it up. I guess the good thing is that they didn't hit the telephone pole that is right there and bring those electric lines down on top of them. So I guess it came loose back here somewhere. So I'm guessing that must be the front of the trailer, but at least the lady stopped and told me what happened. I told her, I said, it's not that big a deal. I was a little surprised at how much got taken down, but again, when you got 400 and some thousand of them, a couple thousand isn't going to hurt anything. So we'll go ahead and walk back down this way on the back side. And these zinnias are at my house. If anybody wants any, you know, if you got relatives in a nursing home or something, you want to make them a bouquet, help yourself. You can always count on the surprise lilies coming up around the 1st of August. These are some that we got from Cheryl Norton's mom, probably 5 or 6 years ago at least, and they always come up the beginning of August. So we'll walk back here real quick. I noticed the sunflowers had started to bloom. These are the short variety. We used to sell them too, but apparently nobody wanted to buy sunflowers either. So we've got some of them. Not sure I'm going to give those away, but if somebody wants some, you can contact me. They're a short variety, but they're nice looking. I think these are called Aztec. And then over here, there's a bunch of brown ones. They haven't bloomed yet, but there's a bunch of brown ones in here, and Pro-Cut white, which were originated in Italy. And they'll probably be blooming in the next week or so. We even got some late broccoli down there that I threw out just for the heck of it. I had put herbicide on this, so I knew there wasn't going to be very many weeds, so I went ahead and put the broccoli out for the heck of it. So there's probably, I don't know, I think there was 6 ounces of sunflower seeds there that I just planted. And then behind that is our pumpkin field. There's a few pumpkins growing in there, but not very many. The weeds I've managed to keep down pretty good. There's a few white ones growing at our house. I had some of these last year. I think those are called tandy. They actually turn tan colored. And there's a whole row of them. But some of these look like the vines are dying, so I imagine the borer beetles got into them and did a number on them. There's one that's not too bad. I think that may be a Captain Jack pumpkin that I had left over. And another Captain Jack. They're not near as big as I have at the other place, but these are at my house. Another Captain Jack. So we'll have a few here at the house. More that way, more that way, more that way. Some of the vines are dying, so they're not going to mount anything, but at least the weeds aren't as bad this year. And down here, doesn't look like much, but in all of these weeds, ragweeds, which herbicide didn't kill the ragweeds, I've got grape tomatoes growing. And this is all outside the fence. You can see the ones outside the fence are just as big as the ones inside the fence because I watered them and fertilized them all the same. So inside the fence, which is where we're at now, altogether, I think there's 145. They're either a Roma or a grape Roma. And you can see I've got broccoli over there too. It may turn out and amount to something. I don't have as many weeds in here as anywhere else, but those are going to be pretty decent if they don't die on me. I didn't use any cages this year. I've got tons of cages. Those are called Early Girl, but all of those 145 plants, we grew them from seed, so we didn't have much money in them. There's a few over here, and then, whoops, I just stepped on a pumpkin. And these over here are white. I believe that's a white pumpkin there. These are just, I plant all the leftovers at my house that I had part of a bag, you know, and a few 20 or 30 seeds left in it. Lots of morning glories in here. Apparently the herbicide I use doesn't kill morning glories. And we'll go back here real quick. I still have time as long as the rain doesn't get any harder. For some reason, I can't seem to film a video, even at low quality, on this camera because it's in my phone. That's all I've got. I've got 2 GoPros, and I'm not smart enough to make either one of them work. Anybody want to volunteer and come and show me, that'd be great. There should be a couple blue pumpkins over in here somewhere. I saw them about 2 weeks ago. Nope, that's not it. There's one. Not very big. I think that's called a blue doll. And there was a bigger one in there somewhere that's 2 or 3 times that size, but there's so much growth in here I can't really see, and I don't want to step on the vines, so. Lots of pumpkins back here. Don't know whether any of them will amount to anything or not. But we've had so much rain on and off for the next 5 days, just to let you know what happens when you get a lot of rain on pumpkins. You end up with that mess, which that pumpkin will be no good. It'll be rotten here all the way through within a day or so. These are called warty goblin pumpkins. There's quite a few of them in here. they were planted fairly early, so they're going to turn, but they've got a really hard shell, so they can turn and they'll last 2 or 3 months. Another one, pretty good size. Another one in there, so at least we'll know we'll have them. The last pumpkins I planted were on the end. These probably won't amount to anything. And I planted some gourds. I planted some gourds in there, and I can tell right now that the morning glories are gonna come up and take everything over. There's a few little ones. Here's pumpkins planted on the end next to the neighbor's corn, which is doing real good. It's about 8 foot tall. I tried to keep this mowed down on the end down here and tilled. I'm going to get in there tomorrow or the next day whenever it doesn't rain and see if I can get rid of those pig weeds and ragweeds that are in there. And we've even got some, I didn't go down those other rows of pumpkins because there's not really much on the vine yet. There's some butternut squash that's turning already. These were planted pretty early. I could pick them anytime I wanted, but there's no hurry. These are my potatoes. 5 rows of potatoes there. The farthest ones next to the sunflowers were planted March 16th, and the next ones, 3 rows, were planted April 16th. This was a pumpkin seed that actually got from Colorado State Record, and I don't know what happened to it. You can see it got a pumpkin on it, and it basically rotted. That's all the bigger it got. I'm not very good at growing big pumpkins. I don't know what I'm doing. I had high hopes, but didn't work. There's sweet potatoes in there. I've got about 12 of them, I think. And I can tell that the pumpkins or the potatoes are growing because even though it's damp out here, the ground's cracking. So I think they're doing pretty good. And we'll walk back through Carolyn's daylilies. You can see how it washes here. We're going to put a riser in the end here and a field tile that goes out to the ditch so we can try and take care of that. There's some of her late daylilies that are still blooming. There's some nice ones out there. It's got lots of different colors. That one's neat. I'd say that one's about done. You can see all the other ones that she's deadheaded and picked off. She comes out here about every day and gets rid of the ones that are done blooming because they only last a day and then they're gone. And that's about it. Her strawberry hydrangeas are doing good. I planted these about 3 years ago. These I have to move this fall. We're going to dig that up and get rid of it. Same thing with that one. It's too big. We're going to take it and move it somewhere. I'm not sure where. There's a butterfly bush. And here's some more daylilies. That one's called Ara Harwood. Ara Harwood, whatever that is. She's got them all named. And that's about it. See you later.